I pressing record?
We have to do the intros, right?
Okay, we are on.
LeVar Ammons and I will be the assistant principal.
Adam Rubichuk, I'm the principal.
Vanessa Ramos, and I'm the union rep.
Adam Wolf, teacher.
So Adam, before we ask the other people to come in, I just want to check and make sure that you are aware of what's going on today and if you have any questions.
What's going on today?
Well, we're here to discuss your recent behavior. That has been a change from your behavior previously in the past as a teacher. And they have some concerns they would like to present to you and get your response to those concerns.
I'm sure they do.
All right, is there anything that you want to talk about before they come in?
They're gonna say, I'm late, right?
They are.
All right, what defense do I have if they come at me with questions that I don't know what to say, the answer to?
Well, I'm here to help you defend the contract and your professional responsibilities. So as long as you are fulfilling your professional responsibilities, we have a lot to say in your defense.
Okay,
Some teachers have expressed some concern about your recent behavior,
what?
that you have been late, you haven't been leaving sub plans, you've been sleeping while at school, you have smelled of alcohol.
There's no proof of any of that. I'm positive there's no proof of any of that.
Moving forward, the district can provide services for you if you would like to ask for help. Would you like to ask for help?
Should I? I mean, if I ask for help, is that gonna be like admitting guilt and I'm gonna lose my job?
Well, you won't lose your job. We have steps in the contract you can follow, but yes, you would be admitting to all those things. That's why you need the help.
Well, I guess it depends on what kind of help they're gonna offer.
Well, then let's hear from them and see what they have to say.
Okay, but if I feel weird about anything, can I just like call time out?
We can have a sidebar.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, we're ready for you. Please come into your office.
Mr. Wolf, thank you for joining us today. I'm gonna get right to it. Before we get started, I want to stipulate a couple of facts, just that we can acknowledge some things have occurred. First, it's been documented that you've missed at least 30 minutes of first period class 4 times this semester without calling in and without leaving a subplane.
Who documented it?
Mr. Ammons and myself saw that your class was unattended and we had to find someone to fill it until you got there.
Okay, what's next?
So you agree that that happened?
I don't remember the days or how long, 30 minutes seems like a long time for me. I don't think I would be 30 minutes late to something. But I might have been a little bit late a couple times.
Do you ever recall a time not leaving something?
I feel like I've been doing this long enough where I would leave sub plans on my desk. If the sub didn't see them, then that's not my fault.
Okay, you did not communicate with your sub?
I don't see subs. Half the time I don't even have subs, and you guys have other teachers coming into my room, so.
Well, this is specifically in the instance when you didn't call in and you came to work late. So there was nothing prepared for someone to implement.
Well, I probably called the secretary. I probably tried to call or something. Okay, what's next?
So I had 6 parent complaints
All right.
that these parents had called or emailed and you had not responded within a week. And as you know, the expectation is that you respond in a timely manner.
Well, per the contract, we don't have a specific amount of time. Don't you think it would be up to Mr. Wolf's professional discretion as to what a timely manner would be for those parents?
Yeah.
Mr. Wolf, what is a timely manner in which you think it's appropriate to respond to a parent?
I mean, honestly, it depends on the parent and the relationship I have with the family. If I've been in touch with the parents a lot, maybe they know that I don't get back to them. So I don't remember which parents these were specifically, but maybe it took me more than a couple days. I've had some personal problems, personal like family issues going on, so if that's got distracted me from getting away from my, from getting back to parents on a couple occasions, that might have happened, but it was unintentional.
The language of the contract is purposely vague because we want our teachers to be focusing on our students and not on their emails during the day.
Sure, we understand that, and there's flexibility that's needed, but reasonably, if a parent, in terms of communication, needs some information, I think reasonably, a 24-hour time period would work.
24 hours would be a very limiting amount of time, especially when it would apply to no other teacher besides Mr. Lowe.
Yeah, I'd love to go through my day after school with you, but, it's, I don't have that kind of time, but 24 hours is too, that seems like a unreasonable.
Okay.
So what would you think would be a reasonable amount of time?
I don't think that's my job to decide. I think that's whoever put this stack of papers together.
So then you would agree that a week's time going by is not a reasonable time?
I mean, some people, who said a week? Like,
Moving forward, if we want the language to be more specific, maybe that should be part of the future contract negotiations. But at this time, he's still within his rights of the contract.
absolutely. Thank you.
We'll see. You've been observed sleeping in your study hall supervision 3 times this semester.
It's not true. That's not true. That's a lie. Listen. Who observed me sleeping?
Mr. Ammons observed you sleeping.
This guy.
This guy?
Oh, yeah, because we've got a great history together, Mr. Ammons and I. So I'm sure he would love to just, witness something to see me doing. I'm surprised it doesn't say caught 3 times sleeping, committed murder in parking lot.
To be clear, are you accusing Mr. Ammons of lying?
I wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Well, first and foremost, on my walkthroughs, right, when I'm walking through and I'm checking in on classes, I did see you dozing off on more than one occasion in your classroom.
Mr. Ammons, would you say your job is busy?
This
Would
is
you
the
say you
fir-
have a lot to do?
This is the first time we're hearing of this.
No
Has
kidding.
No previous documentation been submitted.
Do I need to show you the research that's come out on mindfulness and meditation recently?
So you're,
You can hold off on that, Mr. Wolf.
so you're saying that you don't sleep in study hall, that you mindfully meditate while you're supposed to be supervising students?
Sometimes I bring the students in to the meditation with me,
Okay.
and the kids like it.
Okay.
I showed them the video of LeBron James.
They didn't seem to be meditating when I saw you meditating.
This guy.
All right, moving on.
Thank you.
You told Mr. Ammons to, and I quote, mind his own fucking business. And this was in full
In full view of
view
everyone.
of students and other faculty members.
Correct.
Do you acknowledge that that happened?
Yeah, it happened.
Okay, well, I would encourage you to be mindful, Mr. Wolf, that you have a professional responsibility. And although you don't have to like me, right, there's a respect factor and a supervisor and teacher relationship that we have to maintain. That language, that tone was completely unacceptable, completely unprofessional. And you and I will work on that going forward.
So now,
What does that mean?
going forward,
Yeah, what does
now
that
that we have been notified and we have defended some of the,
So I've got one more point.
oh, you do, I apologize.
So Mr. Wolf has been absent 6 of the 8 Mondays that we've had during this semester. So of the 8 Mondays that we've been in attendance, 6 of those he is called in sick.
I've got 86 sick days and a half.
The contract doesn't specify which days you can or cannot call in sick on. And since they've been individual days and not for extended periods of time, he's still
Right now, we're just
able to.
acknowledging facts. This is something that. Okay.
Mr. Wolf, have you been sick occasionally?
There's a bank of reasons that you can use for sick days, and it doesn't always necessarily apply to your own sickness.
Right, at this point, I'm just looking for a yes or no, that you acknowledge.
Well, yeah, I called in.
Okay.
Okay.
So now, other than the facts that we can stipulate, there's rumors, there's some innuendo that I want to address with you, because I don't want this hanging out there, I want you to face this head on. So numerous colleagues have reported the scent of alcohol on your breath. Numerous colleagues have reported that, you've acknowledged to them having drank late into the night and then coming to work, still in yesterday's clothes, from the previous night. Is there any truth to those rumors?
No. There's no proof of that.
I don't see how these rumors can be submitted as evidence or
Seems like
there's no
gossip.
documentation.
And like Ammons, there's probably 4 or 5 other people in this building who don't like me very much,
Okay.
and
So again, you're accusing Mr. Evans of lying and not actually witnessing the things that he says he
I
witnessed.
I don't think the accused Mr. Evans just said.
thank you.
So I did see him.
Oh, no, I understand. Well,
So thank you for bringing this to our attention. Moving forward, what would you like to propose?
well, since we would give Mr. Wolf the option, if he needed to seek help, if there was something that we need to be aware of, he can let us know, and we will follow all district procedures for getting him any help that he needs. Is there anything that you want to tell us right now?
I don't need your help.
Okay.
He says no.
So going forward, I think we've established that there's a couple of very problematic behaviors that need to be addressed.
Okay.
So first, I need you to check in with Mr. Evans to the beginning of every school day to make sure you're here in plenty of time.
I'll check in with, is there somebody else I can check in with? Can I check in with Trish?
No, Mr. Wolf, you can check in with me.
Oh, let me
There's
check in
nothing
with
in
you.
the contract that requires any teacher to check in.
Well, there is something in the contract about being present and accounted for in every class at the start of the school day, which he has not been. And so now we're at the point where we need to remediate this.
And then second
What
to
I
that.
feel like you guys are gonna have
What
some,
constitutes a
yeah, no kidding.
So then, let me ask you this then, Mr. Wolf, what is it about Mondays? If we're having some sort of issue, we can't make it in, and you are entitled to those days, it's just it's Mondays, which is the issue.
I wish I could share personal information with you, that it's just not your business.
It
So-
seems unreasonable that one teacher is required to check in every single day when no other teachers are required to check in at all.
Well, so we're talking about Mr. Wolf. Mr. Wolf has a history of not being present in his classroom at the start of the school day. Since Mr. Evans' responsibilities do include substitutes and arranging for absences, I think would be appropriate that if he hasn't seen Mr. Wolf by the start of the school day, that then he would be the one to coordinate someone in the classroom.
Does it have to be him?
Well, he is in charge of the substitutes, so it is well within the parameters of our contract to, if he can. If it's Mondays are the problem, can we compromise on he only checks in on
Was the Mondays that were the excessive absences, so we're gonna do it that differently. This is just days.
Maybe we can talk this thing out.
We will discuss that going further, but I think there's still some room for compromise since, again, according to our contract, this isn't a requirement for any other teacher. So to go to one extreme seems
I think
unnecessary.
leaving a series of 11-year-olds unaccompanied in the classroom multiple times for a half hour is what we call extreme. So I think you need to weigh the gravity of the situation right now. Another thing we'd like is that you respond to all parent contacts within 2 school days.
Okay.
It's not in the contract, can you agree to 48 hours?
Sure.
And it's 2 school days, so if someone reaches out on a Friday, you can take that weekend and buy yourself a little bit of time. I think it goes without saying that just stay awake during the school day.
I do. Fine, I do.
Okay.
Okay.
And that includes,
That's not gonna say, he's not gonna walk by and say that I was sleeping because I sneezed.
again, are we accusing Mr. Evans of lying? Is that what it is? Well, I want to hear it from Mr. Wood.
I'm just putting hypotheticals out there.
Okay. The hypothetical is, if you were to accuse, there's supervisor of lying, that would be insubordination,
Okay,
and that's a ground.
but you can accuse me of lying. And-
Listen,
And that's
I-
super subordination?
I'm here to support you, right? And I'm here to ensure that our students are learning. Now, when I come to your classroom and I see you meditating or being mindful of whatever you want to call it, that's unacceptable.
Okay.
I think also Mr. Evans needs a written apology.
I'll tell you, I don't necessarily need a written apology.
But I think I do.
There's
Um,
no language
What
in
is
our
this?
contract for written apologies
There's also-
after inappropriate
there's al-
language, which we
There's also
have
no language in the
decided
contract
to
for directing a profanity at one supervisor in front of students. So, this is the ground that we're walking on right now. If you choose to go on a different path, we can take it on a different path.
No, this is some ego play on your part, and I'm not gonna play that game.
Again, Mr. Rubicek, I don't necessarily need an apology. I just need you to show up to work every day and do your job
All right,
and do your check-ins.
okay.
Well, we have your remediation plan. Please submit it to us in writing. We will review again and get back to you.
I think we have a few more details to negotiate here.
Please.
I'm about to be
Well,
late,
no,
I'm
the-
about to be late to my 11-year-olds.
But we have a substitute covering your classes, so thank you.
Well, there's a
Yeah.
first.
I'm not sure what that means. Well, so we still have to hammer out our check-in procedures. As to the nature of the apology, I think we've got some more discussions to go. But I'm going to document our discussion. And Mr. Wolf, I will reiterate one more time that if there's something that we need to know about your health or about some personal situation, you have the opportunity to tell us.
Thank you.
We'll meet again in